Sorry about that. Man, I don't think anybody's waiting. Anyways, so uh, I had trying to figure out StreamYard again. It's been a while, so uh, but yeah, it was easier than normal. For I found everything pretty. Now I know where everything's at. It was easy for me to find some things. Anyways, I decided to do a weekly positive message in the middle of the week, or towards the end of the week. Busy, leave me alone. Sorry about that. If you heard it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. I decided to do one in the middle of the week rather than do it on Sunday because I had so much. I was busy kind of studying, researching to prepare for this one. So the reason why I named this weekly positive message Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, number one, because I figured, hey, more people would want to say, what is that? You know, what is your Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? So uh, I try to put this in a spiritual sense. Um, you know, people say yin and yang and dark and evil, and even in Star Wars, you got the dark side and the light side. But I was thinking about this. I did some research on Pythagoras. Uh, he's the one to blame for the Pythagorean theorem, a squared b squared equals c squared in geometry, and he also is responsible for numerology, which I've been uh, kind of participating in learning and uh, researching and trying to understand. It's pretty it's pretty accurate. So uh, by researching Pythagoras, his style, he created a numerology, and they call it a cult or whatever. But anything's a cult if you don't understand it, right? So with Nostradamus, that's why he didn't share his stuff. Well, for him, they probably would have burned him at the stake for being a witch. But he could reach outside understanding, and whether his, you know, I wouldn't call them predictions, but they were his thoughts, his visions, or whatever. And it might, we look at them now and try to use them in today's standard, but he never put dates on things. He just used scenarios, anagram, metaphors, and that kind of thing. So it would apply to anything, really. And he miswrote people's names or subject names, so people wouldn't get. He didn't want to control free choice. So if somebody is born, uh, you know, that's has the capabilities of being a bad person when they get older, but they could choose a different path than that if they want, you know. Um, so that's probably why Nostradamus didn't put exact people names. I mean, he did one with the king or whatever that died in a jousting tournament or some crap. I remember that story, um, but he hid them. He didn't share them with people, and until after he passed away, then his I think his son kind of published them or something. I don't know, something like that. But on to Jekyll and Hyde. I was asking what yours, what I was trying. What is my Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde? And I know from numerology and from my own study of religions and that spirit. I just call it spirituality because religion is kind of a foundation, a stepping stone. And then when you grow into your faith or whatever, then you kind of leave religion behind because you already understand it, and then you create a spirituality of your own, one that fits you, where you think you belong. So when people say I'm a Christian or I'm a Muslim or I'm a Buddhist, no, you're not. Maybe in the very beginning because that's the introduction, but you suppress the religion. I'm not saying you're better than it or you become some kind of deity, but you become knowledgeable. You have wisdom of the foundation, and for you to still call yourself a certain religion, you know, a Muslim or Christian or Buddhist, or whatever, you're still in the foundation. You're still studying. You're still unaware of the depths of the religion, and there's an end zone to it. And once you reach the end zone, you're not supposed to be religious anymore. You transfer that into spirituality. Your understanding of it. Okay, so I'm not saying not to still worship and do that, because that's what your faith requires, no matter what religion you are or what spirituality you apply to yourself. But the way I look at religion versus spirituality is the same, but religion is just the school. It's the foundation, what you learn, and then once you're done learning religion, you kind of apply what you learn to your own life, and that way you become a butterfly of spirituality. All right, so what I mean by what is your Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I'll give you an example, and maybe that'll be able to help you understand where I'm coming from. Okay, so in my spirituality, I've foundation of Christianity and some Buddhism, and I did some research on some Judaism. I read some of the Old Torah, which is the Old Testament, and Christian. They don't use everything in the Christian Bible from the Torah, but they use most of it. They pretty much cropped out all the great stuff of the Torah of Judaism and put it in the Old Testament and the Bible, Christian Bible. So yeah, and the Catholics are the one, or the Romans are the one who did it. So I don't really know if I trust the New Testament because of what they did to the Old Testament. And in Catholicism, Christianity, yeah, but they're Gnostic writings of Jesus, which go into more detail that the Romans, Catholics, they didn't want us ordinary folks to really get into, because it's too complicated. We're too dumb to know the truth about stuff. So yeah. Plus, if you're the one who murdered Jesus, then you don't want people to know all the bad stuff that you did to everybody else after you murdered Jesus too. Anyways, so, and then it's the same thing in Muslims. Muhammad was a totally different person than the writings resolve him as. He was enlightened, but he also had a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde complex. He could see things nobody else could, and then when they didn't want to believe him, he got angry. And as a prolific, enlightened person, deity or not, you're not supposed to use spirituality in an angry way, unless you're a Sith Lord on the Star Wars. But use the Force against people. You use it to help them. And that's where spirituality comes into, and that, that's why I don't understand how religious wars even started. Because if you're religious, if you're a spiritual person, how could you be at war with a different spiritual person? It's the same thing. So like, do you like Ritz crackers? Yeah. Well, I only like Cheez-Its. So if you don't like Cheez-Its, then I'm going to kill you. That doesn't make any sense. So, it's dumb, because it's the same thing. I have a name, Joe, and if I meet another Joe, am I gonna want to kill him because I'm supposed to be the only one with the name Joe who likes Cheez-Its? It's dumb. So he's a Joe who likes crackers. So I guess we're gonna beat each other up now. That's dumb. If you're spiritual, then you're not supposed to be angry with your spirituality. There's other things to be argumentative about, You slept with my old lady. No, I didn't. She slept with me. Okay. Don't be mad at somebody just because you know you get a bad feeling about somebody. Then stay away from them. If you don't like the way someone talks, then stay away from them. You have control over that. If you get angry at somebody for doing something wrong to you, confront them. Let them know I don't like that. Let them know you forgive them because that's what your conscience is supposed to do. Forgive, forgive yourself, forgive your past, so you can forgive others who come across you. The golden rule. Remember what that was? I think I learned that in grade school. Do unto others. Treat people how you want to be treated. Love people how you want to be loved. Actually, I've I've told this before. Love yourself more than you love anybody else, because then you'll be able to really care about someone more than you care about anything. You'll be able to reach that plateau of love where it can't go any further because you love yourself that much. And if you hold yourself to the same standards as you look at other people, you know, then you're on the right track. Then you can truly love someone. You can truly understand how God loves, uh, you know, the Creator. You can truly understand how the Creator loves us. If you can love someone just as much as you love yourself, you shouldn't love someone more, but just as equal. So that'll help you understand where I'm coming from as a spiritual person. I love myself so much that I'm willing to love someone just as much, and that's good. Okay, so I keep jumping off the track here. I'm sorry. I've been doing too much research and I got all this in my head. I got to get it out, but I can't write it down. No, not physically write it down. I could use Siri to. All right. Yeah. Get back on track. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. So I studied numerology, and I have. Let me get into this. I think this might be a long one. So if you're running out of time, come back. See what the minute is on the thing on the video, and come back and watch it later, because this is going to be kind of a long thing here to explain. I should have said this in the beginning. My bad. I didn't know I was going to jump off track. So Dr. Jekyll decided. So numerology in the study, my birth date, and I think if you look at your own birth date, which if you don't know what numerology is and what your life path number is, then you should check it out. What you do is you add your birth month, which is 1 through 12, whatever it is, plus the day, 1 through 30, 31, whatever it is, together, and then the year, 19 whatever, or 2000 whatever. You add all the numbers together, all the digits. So let's say my birthday is June 1st, so you add 6-1 is a 7. 1980 was that's 10 plus 8 is 18. So 6-1 plus 8, or no, 6-1 plus 9. I'm sorry. 1980 is 8 plus 9 plus 1 is 19. Yeah, 10 plus. Wait. Oh, I'm getting some wrong. 1980. 9 is 10 plus 8 is 18. 8 plus 1 is 9. So 619, okay, equals 16, right? 6 plus 1 is 7. So that gives me a life past 7. Now, if you add the numbers differently, right? So 6-1 is 7, right? Plus 1 is 8. Plus 9 is 17, okay? Plus 8 is 25. So I'm also a 25. 2 plus 5 is 7. So I'm a 16/7, and I'm also a 25/7, depending on how you add it up. And I was curious about what that meant. So I had someone explaining to me what's the difference between a 16/7 and a 25/7. And the 16/7, they want to call it a karmic value or something like that, which I don't believe in karma, because I believe we get to choose our path before we come here with God or whatever. We say, hey, last time I was on that planet, I got to do this, and I made a mistake, and I really wanted to learn that thing, whatever it was. So, you know, can I go back and try it out and see if I can do it again? Maybe I'll learn. And yeah, so the 16/7, I guess, is it's kind of a, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of a recluse. It's kind of a secluded. It's whatever. It's trying to get wisdom and knowledge and that kind of thing, right? Whereas the 25/7 is more of a spiritual, enlightened, always looking for God, wanting to love and help people and that kind of. So I see both of those in my life, in myself. I'm the person that can spend tons of time by themselves and not feel like I'm missing out on anything. Like somebody told me one time, you could probably live on an island and you wouldn't care as long as you could feed yourself. And I think my dad told me that one time. You're the only person I've ever met that can sit alone for hours by themselves, without a TV, without a radio, without a book, and just think. Sit there for hours just thinking. Yeah. So that's the 16 part of me, and the 25 part of me is the one always searching for answers, wisdom, religion, spiritual stuff, and the rabbit hole seeker, if you want to call it. That's what I call them, because there's never an ending to it, to spirituality, to your faith, to your love for other people, and the wisdom to all that and what it means. And I'm very dissective. I want to know why things work the way they work, not so I can manipulate them, but so I can share them. I can pass my knowledge on, because helping people makes me feel good. That's also a quality of the 25. So Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. So what that got me thinking about it. People always want to say, well, the 16 is the normal self, right? And the spiritual, the 25 is kind of got some darker undertones to it, I guess, because it's also, in spirituality, there's a duality to it. It doesn't have to be that way, but that's how we are taught in our foundations of religion. There's a bad and there's a good. There's an evil, there's a bad. Or evil, there's a, there's evil, and then and we can see it in a normal everyday life. There's people who do bad stuff, and they don't know why they do it. There's people who do great stuff, good stuff for other people, and they really don't know why they did. Like for instance, there was Mother Teresa. She and the Dalai Lama. They are born into that, but they want to help people, and they don't mind. And they don't know why they have the hunger to help people. How? Because they're 7, 20, they're 25 cents. Yeah, but they're in the spiritual sense of good and evil. It's everywhere. It's in every religion. It's in every teaching. It's in how we're raised as kids. Don't be bad. You get punished. If you're good, you get rewarded. So when I say Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, when you look at your own stuff, you do your own inventory, right? And you say, all right, well, I do this, I do that. It's good stuff, I like myself. That's a start. So that's good stuff. I do, I go to work on time. I try to, participate in life. And then here's the bad stuff. I don't recycle. I don't really care much about what the environment, and I don't really want to participate in politics. I don't care. I don't know. So there's things about yourself that you don't like, or maybe that others maybe look at you they don't like. So those are probably some bad things, right? That doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means you still have some learning to do, right? Um, that's where a good foundation comes in. In any religion, in any spirituality, a good foundation can help you grow to be a better person. So, and then when you blossom into a spiritual person, you you kind of upgraded. You've leveled up. You've you've become who you're supposed to become, but you're still learning. You never stop. So it's a never-ending school, Hogwarts, or you know, private school, whatever school. Life is a school. It's a classroom, and you never graduate. I don't think even when you die and you go on to the other side, you don't get a doctorate or a master's degree or even an associate's degree. You come back and do it again, and you're always leveling up every time you live. Unless you're just a crap, you don't want to be a good person. You don't want to help other people. You don't want to learn anything. You just want to be a miserable jerk who hates everything. And I swear I've met people like that. Self-sabotage people who just don't know how to live a life, don't know how to look at things in a positive way, don't know how to, you know, feel good about themselves, don't know how to care about other people. Because they're closed off to everything. Those people are the dunce club. They're in after-school detention or something. They're not participating in life. And I've met a few people like that. They're just miserable. They don't want to even think about happiness. And then they wonder why they're alone. Well, if you don't take showers and you don't smell, you don't smell very good. I'm not going to want to be around you. I don't care, and especially now I'm blind. You don't, even if you're pretty or you're handsome or you got a good smile or if you don't have a good personality that or it's whatever, and I can't understand you because um, I can't I can't understand where you're coming from or what you're about. And I feel uncomfortable around you, then I'm not going to want to be around you. And 9 times out of 10, I don't think anybody else will either. You know, I'm not saying to bend yourself to other people's wills so you have friends, and family and people care about you. But just being able to care about others is enough to make friends. And I had a big old long thing for friendship, and maybe I'll do that on Sunday for a weekly positive message. But um, yeah, I think I'll put it in here after I'm done with this lecture. So, okay, so in a spiritual way, using your good side, right, to be a good person and help other people, whatever your good side, whatever your good qualities are, hang on to those and enforce them in your participation of life, right? And then think about all the bad things that you can't, the bad things that you have in your personality or whatever, you know, and try to use those qualities that, or if you don't think you can change them, or if you don't want to change them, whatever it is, see if you can use them for a good purpose. So I had a friend come visit me today. That's why I was late. And she told me the other day that she's just been really angry, um, and she's kind of pushed some people away, even some family members, because uh, she got an illness, and she's kind of upset about it, and maybe scared a little bit. I think I would be. Um, Maybe it's terminal. They don't know, I guess. But she's angry, so I told her today, and I gave her a hug. I said, God wouldn't give you anything that you can't handle. You know, maybe you chose that path before you came here. You know, and so don't think of it as a karmic thing. Don't think of it as God's punishment, because it's not. It's not. It's an experience that you're having to learn from. So if you're angry about it, don't use that anger to hurt yourself or other people, because that's going to make your illness worse. Anger and depression and all that. Emotions affect your body positively or negatively. So if you're trying to be a positive person, you don't want to be negative to yourself, but don't use your negative qualities that you're against other people. Use your anger to help people. Use your bad qualities to help other people, or help yourself. If you get angry at yourself, laugh about it. If you have a different, negative quality about yourself that you really don't want to change because it's kind of your makeup, then try to figure out a way to use it in a positive way towards yourself or to other people. I know that sounds dumb, but it's not. Okay, so if you're kind of an untidy person or unorganized person, I don't know how you can use the unorganized, your your scatteredness, whatever you would call it, towards a positive thing. But learning from that experience how to be more of a not a perfectionist, but more of a tidy, organized person. How to catch yourself when you're doing something that's like setting Coke cans down and then forgetting about them for a day or two, a week or a month or a year, and or expecting somebody else to pick it up for you. I'll put this here, somebody will get it. That's not. But using that scenario to to help understand what I'm talking about. Understanding that when you do that, how to set up some kind of signal in your mind. Oh, wait, this is how I get scattered and clustered and all that crap. Um, you know, so you tell yourself that when you're in the act of doing it, and then you're like, oh, maybe I won't do that, and then by being that way, and figuring out how to stop yourself from being that way, or whatever, you're able to teach other people what worked for you, and maybe it'll work for somebody else. Passing it on, like what I'm doing here. So I think that's it, guys. Stay positive. Uh, don't change yourself if you don't want to. But if it's something that you don't like about yourself, then change it. I don't like being happy all the time, so I'm going to change that. That's not okay. Try that for a couple weeks and see what happens. Maybe you'll go back to trying to be a good person again, or trying to be happy all the time. And people don't want to be around me because I'm always happy. I've had somebody tell me that before, and that was not exactly true from what I found out by being that person's friend. It was because they were a braggart. I'm better than you. That's what it always felt like being around somebody, because they're always bragging about how good they have it. Well, okay, well, be a braggart and expose how good you have it, but do it in a good way to help somebody else be as have it as good as you. I won the lottery. This is what I did. Or I aced my high school, whatever, or my college, or my whatever, my thesis, or whatever your situation is, and I want to help other people, be as successful as me. Why would I want to do that? There can only be one Highlander. No, that's not how it's supposed to be. There's a bunch of Highlanders, and they're jealous of each other, so they don't want anybody to be as powerful as they are. All right, so that's not who I want to be. That's not who I think God wants me to be either. That's not. I don't want to go to the other side when I'm done with this journey and have to come back and do this crap all over again. So I better learn something from it so I can upgrade and go on to something else. All right, I'm done rambling, the rambling man, and I hope I helped somebody, and I hope I opened your mind up or think a little different, and maybe put something in perspective that you hadn't thought about before. Stop being mean to yourself. You can figure it out. All right. Namaste. God bless. And talk next time.